The economic, social, and personal rewards of being wise. My son, never forget the things I've taught you. If you want a long and satisfying life, closely follow my instructions. Never tire of loyalty and kindness. Hold these virtues tightly. Write them deep within your heart. If you want favor with both God and man, and a reputation for good judgment and common sense, then trust the Lord completely, don't ever trust yourself. In everything you do, put God first, and He will direct you and crown your efforts with success. Don't be conceited, sure of your own wisdom. Instead, trust and reverence the Lord, and turn your back on evil. When you do that, then you will be given renewed health and vitality. Honor the Lord by giving Him the first part of all your income, and He will fill your barns with wheat and barley and overflow your wine vats with the finest wines. Proverbs 3, 1-10. How to lead a fulfilling life by following the teachings of wisdom. Be loyal and kind, trust in God and put Him first, and honor Him with one's earnings. The reward for following wisdom includes a long life, prosperity, and peace, while those who turn to folly will suffer punishment. The main message is to prioritize wisdom, mercy, and truth to find favor with God and others and live a meaningful life. Trust in God, acknowledge Him in all your ways, do not rely on your own understanding, and make Him the center of your life. By being humble, fearing God, and departing from evil, you will experience good health and prosperity. If you honor God with your possessions, He will ensure that you are blessed with abundance. Living a wise and upright life leads to joy, peace, and fulfillment. These blessings can provide a glimpse into the future and the promise of eternal life. We should appreciate the present blessings of following wisdom while also looking forward to the future. Living a wholesome life is the key to physical health and well-being. Obeying moral laws brings vitality and brightness to one's life. The body is a sacred trust and should be treated as such, with temperance and orderliness of life. Seeking health as the first consideration can lead to disappointment, but following the law of God and the impulse of His Spirit can bring unexpected health benefits. The peace of mind and cheerfulness of temper that come from a strong relationship with God are conducive to longevity. Each day is worth living for the children of light, as it has its own lessons and revelations. Living a long life with constant negative feelings is not fulfilling. The life in God is healthy, even though the outward body may decay. The tangible rewards of righteousness are invaluable and make the prosperity of the wicked seem insignificant. In order to lead a good life, it is important to practice fair dealing with all people. Wisdom believes that legitimate trade benefits both the buyer and seller, and any attempt to trick or deceive the other party is immoral. Although those who use these deceitful practices may accumulate wealth, wisdom believes that the curse of the Lord is upon their house, while those who conduct business honestly are blessed. Even if hard times come, they are surrounded by loved ones who appreciate them for being honorable, and they have the satisfaction of knowing they resisted the temptation of unrighteous gain. Wisdom requires not only justice, but also generosity. We are commanded to give the first fruits of our possessions to the Lord and to care for the poor. Giving to those in need purchases a good possession and brings joy and gratitude. The deeper truth is that clear vision and strong action are impossible without humble dependence on God. Trusting in the Lord and acknowledging Him in all our ways is necessary for wisdom. Many of us believe we trust in the Lord but actually lean on our own understanding and are proud of it, even when it is foolish. When we insist on being mockingly humble and say things like "I may be wrong, but," it shows that we think our case is practically impossible. We claim to acknowledge God in all our ways, but by not surrendering our lives to Him completely, we don't give Him an opportunity to guide us. We don't truly believe that God is concerned with the details of our lives, and as a result, we rely entirely on our own understanding to make important decisions. If we truly submitted to God's direction, we would see more Christian ministers and workers going overseas to labor, fewer unhappy marriages, less economic disparity between districts, and greater generosity towards the service of God's kingdom. Overall, the lives of most Christians are not directed by God, but rather by their own understanding, which is a sorrowful outcome. Even though many people have turned away from following God, those who completely trust Him and acknowledge Him in all their ways will experience abundant blessings and be a source of good in the world. God guides His followers in ways that are distinct and authoritative, but not necessarily with miraculous signs or messages from others. Instead, He whispers direction to them and directs their paths. Don't set limits on God's revelations and emphasizes the importance of waiting for God to make the path plain, rather than seeking signs. Those who have spent time depending on God will look back and see how His guidance was real and decisive, even if it was not always obvious at the time. Trust in God and personal communion with Him are necessary for following His plan for our lives. True wisdom calls for complete submission to God's ways and commandments, as His will leads to peace and is the source of all external manifestations of wisdom. The distinction between living a life in accordance with nature, which is God's will for the inanimate creation, and living a life in obedience to God's laws for human life, which requires interpretation and choice. The ultimate state of blissful wisdom is achieved through meticulous obedience to God's law, which places us under His immediate and unbroken control. Heavenly wisdom brings riches and peace to life. Those who trust in God and follow wisdom live in harmony with the world around them and have nothing to fear. However, use caution when judging someone's prosperity as a sign of wisdom, as it may be the result of other powers or influences. It may be that those who truly possess wisdom will choose adversity over prosperity, as God may choose to guide them through difficulty rather than ease. Ultimately, true wisdom lies in surrendering one's will to God and trusting that He will guide them to the best path. The path of wisdom is not sought because it is pleasant or peaceful, but because it is the right thing to do. When we let go of seeking temporal blessings and focus on seeking the kingdom of heaven, we are rewarded with blessings multiplied. It is only when we fully commit to following in the footsteps of Christ that we find true ease and inherit glory. Remember, but the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure and full of quiet gentleness. Then it is peace-loving and courteous. It allows discussion and is willing to yield to others. It is full of mercy and good deeds. It is wholehearted and straightforward and sincere. James 3:17. Peace, make each day a great day.